Despite everything that happened in 2020, gaming has been booming. We already got amazing games like The Last of Us Part 2 and Final Fantasy VII Remake, but the year is not yet done, and we still got half a year's worth of games to go. What's up nerds, I am Seth, and for this video we're taking a look at the 10 best upcoming games to look forward to in the second half of 2020. Starting off at number 10 is Mortal Shell, a very promising action RPG Souls-like by Cold Cemetery, where you awaken as an empty vessel in a strange world, then explore your mysterious world through the eyes, or in this case the body, of fallen warriors, learning more about them and unlocking abilities as you go along. Combat is strategic and unforgiving, and the world is twisted and in ruin. This game will be an absolute treat for Dark Souls fans. Overcoming formidable bosses and dying over and over again will always have fans willing to go through with the experience, especially when it looks as promising as Mortal Shell, which drops August 18th. At number 9 is Outriders, a 1-3 players co-op RPG shooter which should have been called Gears of Warframe Destiny of Anthem, because you guessed it, it has gameplay elements from Gears of War, Warframe and Destiny, and a little bit of Anthem. And that basically sums up the gameplay. And that's not even the most interesting part, as Outriders is developed by People Can Fly, the same studio behind Painkiller and Gears of War Judgment, who promises to make this quote-unquote not a game as a service, which makes us look forward to its release in the holiday season of 2020. At number 8 is Deathloop, and if you've played Dishonored, this is basically Dishonored with guns. A first-person action shooter. You are an assassin on an island trapped in a time loop, and your goal is to break the loop by assassinating some key targets while being hunted by other assassins. The game plays, as the developers call it, in an iterative way, where you play the same day over and over, but you don't necessarily do the same things or go to the same places. So for each cycle you learn, adapt and try new ways to reach your objective and escape. Instead of releasing Dishonored 3, Arcane Studios decided to give us Deathloop, with similar gameplay but a new concept, and it got us hyped. Expect this game to be released in December. Coming at number 7 is Crusader Kings 3, the sequel to one of the most popular strategy games ever made, and like its predecessors, it is a dynasty simulator set in the Middle Ages where you choose a noble house, then guide its dynasty through the centuries, conquer lands, establish political ties through marriage and diplomacy, use spies and blackmail and all that strategy goodness to ensure the security and stability for your lands. Devs promise a map 4 times bigger than the previous and a more newbie-friendly game when Crusader Kings 3 launches September the 1st. Continuing at number 6 is Wasteland 3, and I admit, I am a sucker for top-down turn-based tactical games, and having more of them is always nice. Combine the genre with a post-apocalyptic setting and you have Wasteland 3, the sequel for the 2014 Game of the Year winner, and it looks to be an improvement over the previous installment, which already set the bar very high with its challenging turn-based combat and its humor through funny dialogue. Wasteland 3 looks worthy of the title. This time in a snow environment with environmental dangers, you attempt to establish your ranger base and lead your party to salvation. Look forward to the release of Wasteland 3 on August 28th. Number 5. We're already halfway through the list and things are starting to get serious. For the 5th spot we have Mafia Definitive Edition, a remake of the legendary iconic Mafia 1 game. This is not a remaster or a reskin, but rather a full remake of the original Mafia, including everything from new 4K graphics to enhanced gameplay and even expanded story. It's great to see a game so genre-defining like Mafia get some attention, and I'll definitely be trying it out when it launches on September 25. At number 4, and getting close to the podium, is Total War Saga Troy. And while maybe not as flashy as Three Kingdoms, Total War Saga Troy retells the story of the legendary and immensely popular Trojan Wars and its iconic characters. Going back to the Bronze Age will be most interesting and refreshing as we explore Greek history of this specific period and interactions between characters like Achilles and Hector. And I'm sure you do too, as this mythical war is full of intrigue and still influences pop culture to this day. I can't wait to throw Achilles into a squad of 40 units to test the legend when this Total War Saga Troy drops on August 13. On to the third spot, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the next installment for a series that takes us each year from one historical period to another. This year it's time for Vikings to have assassins too, because why not? Valhalla takes place in England as you try and claim land and build a village that will serve as a cornerstone for the gameplay, and this is something I'll be looking forward to. And I hope the base building elements will have enough depth and not be just a simple quirk. There are of course amazing new visuals and a variety of new weapons specific to this era, and both gameplay hopefully as good as Odyssey. The previous two Assassin's Creed games have been an improvement and they move towards the right direction for the series. Certainly not as good as the originals, but good enough to keep me hyped for this one. Assassin's Creed Valhalla drops November 17. At the second spot is the highly anticipated, super important Halo Infinite, because it will make or break the Xbox Series X launch. Halo has been for too many years the face of Xbox and the biggest Xbox exclusive, so the pressure is through the roof to make Halo Infinite the success fans of the series are expecting. So the studio is bringing out the big guns by bringing Master Chief back and playing the nostalgia card on us. They even plan on making it an open world style title too. All of this only adds up to the existing hype as we wait for Halo Infinite's release in the holiday season of 2020. Now before we reveal our top spot, let's look at some honorable mentions. Starting off with Watch Dogs Legion, which takes place in a dystopian future where everybody is controlled and spied on by some sort of police-run government. You take the role of a regular guy who decides to revolt on the system and goes out into the world recruiting a kick-ass party with mixed skills and specialties. Like many games on this list, it is being ambitious in its promises, but it remains an open-world hack stuff genre and deserves a look. Watch Dogs Legion launches October 29. Next up is Tell Me Why, a story-based game from the same studio that gave us Life is Strange, and they remind us of that in every occasion they get. Basically what they're saying is, Life is Strange was good, and so Tell Me Why will also be good, because we know how to make good story-based games. A very bold claim for sure, yet from our first impressions of it, it looks like it's interesting enough. It releases in the holiday season. Okay, now for the winner, and there is absolutely no way we can talk about top 2020 games without Cyberpunk 2077 topping the list. From the same studio that gave us probably the best open-world RPG since Skyrim and one of the best in history. Take The Witcher 3, add guns and cyber enhancements and you get Cyberpunk. This game is shaping up to be a phenomenon, with all the hype surrounding it. Cyberpunk 2077 should have been called Hype 2077. The last time a game was this much hyped and anticipated, it was probably at Diablo 3's launch. This whole buzz about it scares the hell out of me, because I want this game to live up to it. But what reassures me is the delays this game has gotten, and yes, I am happy that this game got delayed more than once, because every delay probably means more content, less bugs, and an overall much more stable game. We're living in an era of over-promising and under-delivering, especially for AAA games. Good thing that CD Projekt Red is on Cyberpunk. If it were any other studio, it would have already been released quickly and flopped just as quick. Cyberpunk releases hopefully November 19, and I will be one of its biggest supporters, and I hope you guys give it some love too. So that's it for this list. Do let me know in the comments which of these games you would like to try, and give me your own ranking of this top 10 list. If you want more reviews, gameplays, and other gaming related content, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to get the latest uploads. Leave a like if you haven't already, and until next time, have a nice one. Peace!